Hey, welcome to part 3 of my Sonic the Hedgehog 2 Let's Play. We continue on with Hilltop Zone Act 2, where I'm going to show you guys a little bit of a different route that I'm pretty sure 95% of the people that play this game don't take. First, I'm going to show you that lava hurts, and then I'm going to take the top route instead of the bottom route, which most players take. I don't even know if everyone knows about this, and it's kind of cool. And this is a prime example why I love Sonic more than Mario, is because I can find everything in a Mario game without that many playthroughs. You know, it's not so diverse that I could just pick it up and play and then do things differently and have a different experience with it. With Sonic, I have so many different experiences all the time. Well, not unlimited amount of experiences, obviously, right? Like, I have to stop somewhere. But I love Sonic that much because it's so radically different. And there's so many pathways you can take, and there's so much shit you can do. And I am going through the ceiling. I'm just showing you guys, this is the different pathway, where instead of lava coming up, which would be the bottom path, instead the whole ground comes up and tries to crush you. It's a very easy sequence, but if you go to a little platform that was a little elevated, I showed off a little, earlier in the video, that if you stand on it and run back, the ceiling becomes like an immaterial, and Sonic just phases through it. I don't know why that is, but I love doing it every time, and I always take the top pass just so I can do that. It's like a little relaxation period for Sonic, because he doesn't get phased by it. He's just standing there, just chilling, waiting to move, which I suppose is kind of a bad thing on his terms, but oh well. It's a cool thing nonetheless, and I love doing it every time. And that one sequence probably makes this like one of my favorite levels of Sonic 2. I know this is probably people's worst level, or hated level, or most disliked, whatever you want to say. People don't tend to reference Hilltop Zone with Sonic 2. They just say it's Green Hill Zone, but blue, and it's boring. And I disagree with that one little glitch. I think that makes the whole zone enjoyable to play. I really do. Anyway, now we're getting our 6th Chaos Emerald, and this is where Tails really starts to become useless. The delayed reaction of Tails compared to your commands just makes him a sucker for bombs, I guess. Look at him just getting raped. But this is also a special stage where it forces you to jump because the bombs are everywhere in a circle, and the only way to dodge them is to jump. So, it's getting more difficult, more and more difficult, and Tails is just a puppet, a ragdoll in this one. You cannot rely on him to get you any rings. If you do, he's probably going to lose them, and then you'll probably won't be able to get the next, set amount of rings you have to get to in order to proceed, or to get the Chaos Emerald, and, well, that sucks. So you really can't rely on him at all. See, he only has 7 rings compared to my 165. He's not going to do anything in this special stage. But this is probably the only special stage where he's truly useless in. The 7th special stage actually has a sequence where Tails would probably be the most useful out of all the special stages. And we'll get to that later in this video. I do get all the 7 Chaos Emeralds in this video. So, hooray, we're done with special stages in this video, and then we can just speed through the rest of this game. Which is awesome, because I love speeding through the rest of this game. I hate getting the Chaos Emeralds, as I mentioned in part 2. I never get the Chaos Emeralds whenever I play this game. So it's gonna be awesome. And look, I got the 6th Chaos Emerald with Tails having 0 rings. Exactly, I see you can't rely on him at all. Dun 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 dun. God, I love that victory music type thing. Anyway, we're right in front of the boss, but I'm gonna go get some rings because I guarantee that Murphy's Law is gonna kick me in the ass some way. So let's check it out. This is Robotnik's, I guess, plan. Evil scheme is to rise from the lava and shoot fire at you, and just stay there like an idiot so that you can get plenty of hits on him, and you just keep bouncing on him, and hopefully you can land on the platforms, which I didn't. So it's a good thing that I went back for the rings. And that's basically his whole plan. He goes back down, then he shoots fire engulfing the whole platform, but it's really easy to dodge, and that's pretty much it. He's really outsmarting us, guys. You gotta watch out for this doctor. He doesn't joke around. Anyway, we're in Mr. Cave Zone now, and I freaking love this song. The music in this is just so... Oh my god, the Sonic 2 soundtrack is just badass overall. There's always... Like, Sonic music always has a knack for just being that type of music that you wouldn't mind having on your iPod. Honestly. It's just that badass. Also, you might notice maybe throughout the stages that I go a bit slow. That's because I'm trying to find 50 rings and get into the 7th check post to get the 7th and final Chaos Emerald, because again, I screwed up in part 3 and I was just going, I was winging it at this point. I was winging it. I didn't have the 50 rings planned, and I was just hoping that I had 50 rings when I found a checkpoint. So yeah, I'm doing a pretty good job of winging it in this game. I think I've played it enough anyway to, you know, not be worried about it. Which I'm not, because I do get all Chaos Emeralds. Spoiler alert. This zone has very dickish types of enemies though. I mean, they got like spikes coming out of the side of the walls, and they got these annoying fireflies, I think. Yeah, they're fireflies, and when they light up, they're just invincible, and you can't even pass through them. You can't spin dash through them or anything. They just, you know, you just gotta wait for them to unbrighten or be unlit. And if they're, especially when they're blocking your path, it's freaking terrible. You just gotta play the waiting game on them. Other than that, they got like all this like sort of stuff with swinging platforms and square platforms going, you know, in a kind of rectangular direction and all that shit. And it's pretty cool. It also has the world-renowned pit that everyone hates and everyone says is, well, not everyone. Most people say it's bad level design. I just think that if you end up falling, then it's your fault and you suck. I'm gonna be blunt. You suck. Anyways, we are now in our final special stage, and well, it's not that big of a challenge, really. It kind of gives you like a break. I mean, the first sequence is kind of hard. If you don't know where the rings are going, then you're screwed pretty much. But if you do memorize the pattern, maybe if you've played it at least once, you'll memorize it. And really, it's just going left and right. You always got to go to the side that isn't being shown, and then you'll get like 2 sets of rings. And it's hard to explain how to play these special stages. You just gotta look at them. So I'm gonna stop doing that now. And here's the problem. I was trying to get in front of Tails. He got in front of me because I got hit or something. I don't even know what happened, but he ended up in front of me somehow. So again, this is the same thing. You just go left and right. You keep going left and right, and that's it. It looks pretty simple, but I'm pretty sure when you play it the first time, you fail it. I think I failed it the first time I played it. I'm pretty sure I failed it. So it's a pretty easy pattern, and I keep repeating myself because I honestly have nothing else to say about these special stages. I'm done with them, man. They're too long, and I don't like them. Anyway, this is the last stretch. This is the last thing you gotta do, and it has no pattern to it. It's just rings scattered everywhere. You gotta try and get the most. And this is the part where I said Tails is probably the most useful because he covers more ground, and you know, you can get the more rings. And thankfully enough, there are a lot of sets of, you know, bombs set around in between these types of sequences where the rings are scattered. But you know, don't get nervous because you got hit a couple times, which I did, because they give you a lot of rings to get, and you know, there's a lot of opportunities to save yourself. So it's kind of, it puts you in a panic, but at the same time, it's probably one of the easier sequences in the game. And that's it, guys. We have all the Chaos Emeralds, and then the screen goes crazy, like you're having a seizure. And oh boy, man, that is some foreshadowing right there, because we're about to go into seizure mode, boys. Since Sonic has all the Chaos Emeralds, we now can change into Super Sonic, which I'll be showing off later. Anyway, this is the boss of Mystic Cave. Dr. Robotnik comes from the ceiling, and he's, you know, all this dangerous shit is coming at you. The only things you gotta worry about in that is the spiked rocks. You don't have to worry about the little pebbles. Those won't hurt you. Good shit, Tails. The reason I really like bringing Tails along is because I like when Tails does stuff. I don't know why, but Tails achieving something or doing something for Sonic, I don't know. I like that Tails does stuff. That's why I keep him around. Many people don't like it because, you know, a lot of people get screwed over by him, but I use him to my advantage. I think, anyway. Anyway, this is my favorite zone in the entire game. It's Oil Ocean. And you're going to see me get hit a lot. And the reason I'm getting hit a lot is because I don't want to get the 50 rings. Because this is how Super Sonic works. You know, when you get all the Chaos Emeralds, you get a little, you know, treat. You get Super Sonic, which is pretty much a god. And he totally breaks the game. But the problem with Super Sonic, in my eyes, is that he has his own Super Sonic theme. Now, that's great and all, and Super Sonic theme is alright. But it gets repetitive quick. And it takes over the actual soundtrack of the zone you're in. And the game's soundtrack is so good, and the Supersonic theme is so, you know, average, that it really takes away from the game when you're Supersonic, which is a letdown. So I try and avoid getting 50 rings as much as possible because I just love hearing Oil Ocean as much as possible. I also love the theme to this. Just, I don't know. I just like oil. Plus the background is kick-ass with the sun, the heat illusion of water, and I just love it. And how did I get hit there? But anyway. Okay, huh. Do those balls look familiar? They're actually the same ball that the Sonic 1 Green Hill Zone boss used to try and hit at you. That Dr. Robotnik tried to use with his, you know, Eggmobile to try and hit you. And he just went back and forth. You know what I'm talking about. Yeah, you do. Yeah, because this game was actually built off the Sonic 1 cartridge. Off the Sonic 1 software, which is kind of interesting to me. And they reused a very minimum amount of sprites, but they used sprites nonetheless, including those balls. Balls. But anyway, Oil Ocean is one of the lengthier levels in this game. You know, I finished this in 2 minutes. It takes quite a bit a long time. And I'm not even speaking English anymore. Anyway, we're in Oil Ocean Act 2, and I can't get up for some reason. There we go. Bad dick bouncing. I meant to get hit there. That was totally intentional. It was intentional, guys. Just, you know, take my word for it. I'm getting hit on purpose. And I'm going to do a little bit of sequence breaking here. Screw this. There we go. Yeah, I love doing that. I don't think I've ever... Since I've figured out that I could do that, I don't think I've ever done a normal playthrough where I avoid that, like, I don't know, maybe the past 100 times I've played this game. I've always taken that path. It saves a lot of time. Although I do love this level and the level soundtrack, it is kind of lengthy, and you know, I just want to finish the game at this point. I mean, I've gone this far, right? Especially when I got all the Chaos Emeralds. Holy shit. A lot of practice went into that. My commentary is growing stale. I have nothing else to say. A seahorse came out of the oil. That's pretty cool. Alright, so we've reached Dr. Robotnik already, man. These zones are gonna go a lot quicker now that I don't have to get Chaos Emeralds and don't have to worry about getting 50 rings. Basically, he comes out of the oil like he did in Hilltop, where he comes out of the lava, and he shoots like this spike at you. The only thing you have to worry about is the spike itself. The actual balls that trail do not damage you, and he just quickscoped the hell out of me right there. And then he brings out a laser, he shoots 3 times, tries to aim at you for the most part, and comes out to say hi, and that's your opportunity to hit him. Anyway, we will continue our speedy adventure of Sonic 2 in Part 4, where I do show off Super Sonic. See you then.